Alright, I thought I'd make a real quick tutorial here about how to apply camo, since somebody was asking about that in one of my threads when I uploaded a base, how I go ahead and do that. There's lots of different ways you can do that. I found the easiest way to get a uniform pattern, seamless, and the way I want anyway, is using the patterns within Photoshop. So real quick, I'll show you how to do that in Photoshop CS3, and it's going to be the same in all Photoshops. I went ahead and I opened up my camo pattern swatch, which is just a sample, but it's a seamless repeating sample that you can use to apply. And then you have your base, which you're going to apply it to. If you didn't have this camo sample before, what you could do is you could go to Realtrue's website or Mossy Oak or whoever the camo vendor is you're trying to make up or apply to a car. And you can go in there and you can click camo, and then it'll bring you here, and it'll have examples of their camo, but down at the bottom it has all the different patterns. And once inside, you can basically take that and extract that, right click, save image as, whatever. And so that's where I got this, was the Realtree Advantage particular version of the camo. Now this isn't in my patterns unless I save it first, so the way to do that is you click on the image. If you wanted to do just this section, you would do a cutout or a selection. Otherwise, you would hit File, or no, File, Edit, and you can define pattern. Alright, and it'll immediately take a screen capture unless you've cropped it some other way, and now it's got a name. You can call it Realtree AP, and that's it. Once you save it, it's going to use that at that resolution, no compression or anything like that, and it's done. So you come down here to where you wanted to apply camo. Let's say all of that was white, for example. You could right click on it, go to blending options, pattern overlay. Now you see how it applied a seamless layer of bubbles, because that's a default pattern inside of Photoshop. These are all different patterns that I already have. You've got a mesh, more wire, different checkered flags and light rays and all kinds of different stuff. But there's my Realtree pattern. Here's another one. Okay, so it's seamless across, and you can then go ahead and you can start. Now while this is open, you can move this anywhere you want. First off, you see how seamless it is. You can't tell where the tear is because of the way I placed it. So depending on how big you want this and where the particular team placed the camo in relationship to the door numbers and the contingencies, you can just point and drag wherever you want as long as this is open. When you're done, make sure link layer is set and it won't move when you save it. If you really want to make sure, then you rasterize it, but otherwise it won't move freely around. And you can hit snap to origin wherever it thinks the center point is. Alright, so it thinks it's right there on the tree stalk, and right now it's at 100%. It's best to stay in about 25% increments because otherwise it starts to get blurry. So let's say you want 25. Alright, now the trees are smaller and it's seamless. 50. 50 is about what you'd probably see on the car based on the size of the pattern we started with. So that's how I do it. It's not very hard. I found it to me probably be the easiest way to apply a pattern, and you can do that for anything. If I wanted it to be carbon fiber, I'd go back up here to my carbon fiber mesh, and these are all the different, like when I did Trevor Bain's car last year, the pink glitter I did, same thing, a seamless pink glitter pattern for Trevor Bain's breast cancer car in the fall. There's the red and black splatter for the Red's Apple Ale car. The green carbon fiber for Paul Menard's car. There's all these different things. My signature overlay. There's all these different things you can do. Another camo pattern. So you just apply the one you want, and see how this one's not quite as seamless, and that's because I didn't get a very good cut on it. So anyway, there's really not a lot to it. You just take and save the pattern you want as a swatch. Make sure you name it something you can remember, and then whatever size you want it to be. If you want it to be at 75, you can put it at 75. If you want it to be at 10, it can be at 10. But it starts to get a little bit, blurrier as you get down here, so you may want to sharpen it when you get down to the lower numbers. But if you went to 30, so once you're done, you just, alright, you can leave it as is and the pattern's affected, or if you want to make sure it doesn't change, then you can convert to Smart Object or rasterize, whatever you want to do. So I hope that's been beneficial and answers your question. Have a good one.